In today's episodes, we're going to talk about crap. We're going to talk about fertilizer and how it affects our gardens, compost and other stuff. I'm going to go friggin' wash this off. There are different types of fertilizers out there, and to name a few, or just name some, you got synthetic fertilizers such as water soluble, like Miracle Grow. You got spikes that are like for trees and shrubs. You have organic. You got liquid and you got solids. Solids are more of a time release, or a long period of time releasing. Or you got the solution, which gets into the plants quicker. You have the byproducts. Byproducts are anything like, let's say, compost for the garden clippings you got. It can be fish emulsion. It could be manure. It can be manure from cows or horses. But you don't use dog or cat poop to put into your compost. And one of the fertilizing methods, which takes longer and you have to use more of compost compared to the synthetic fertilizers, which quickly get into the plants, but you have to use more of this. Now we made ourselves a new bin to where we can help try to speed up the process. And these compost bins, and really compost bins are supposed to be no bigger than 3 by 3 by 3, because it helps with the cooking process. And what I mean by cooking process, the cooking process is the heat that is generated from the sun, but also from inside here, to help break down the solids to make your fertilizer. Now, when you make a bin, you want to make sure that the bin is lined so that the material that's inside here is not leached through the bottom of the ground. And you want to be able to cover it to try to keep critters out, such as plastic, and using chicken wire to keep those out of there. Now, I use Miracle Grow on all my plants. I've had great success with it. Do I want to do organic? Sure I do, but it just takes a little longer to get the process to go. So anyway, I'm going to show you a few different tips on what you can use as fertilizer to help bring out the stuff in your garden. We have here a few items of fertilizer, stuff that I use in my garden. One for the natural fertilizer for your plants, and it helps with nitrogen, magnesium, calcium. Take eggs and you grind them up into a powder, into a blender, or whatever you use, and you take them and then you spread it below the plants near the roots. And same thing with coffee grounds. Coffee grounds, they add nitrogen as well. I don't want you to see this because it's just pretty nasty, but you use coffee grounds and put it at the base of your plants too. You can plant them, or you can put them down any time of the year during the growing period. And you can also use Epsom salt. Epsom salt is is magnesium, which helps with the root system of the plant. It helps to give it a better strength and better growing period. But you take this Epsom salt and you can sprinkle a little bit. Don't put it directly on the plants, but put it at the base of the plant so that when you water them, that is released into the ground, just like the coffee grounds and the eggshells. But my favorite, Miracle Grow. And no, this is not a plug, not a plug, or a plug, but anyway. But not a plug for Miracle Grow. But I like using it because it's quick, easy, and I get good results. but I'll do this every once or twice a week, depending on, you know, what I'm growing. And I use it on my cucumbers. I get some awesome cucumbers, which is something next that we'll talk about. But today we're talking about fertilizers. So when you want to get better results, if you want to do it organic or if you want to do it synthetic, choose what you want to use and then choose how you're going to implement it so that you can get the best out of your garden. See ya.